Yeah, yo, I just watched 2 old sports movies. Had to pull an all-nighter. It was great.
Colin, you didn't just watch 2 old sports movies. We just watched 2 old sports movies.
Oh, wait. That's right. I just saw, I just saw Radio with you. Didn't I?
And Pride, too.
Oh. That was with you?
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
I'm not afraid. Yeah. It's been a ride. I guess I had to go to that place to get to this one. Now some of you might still be in that place. If you're trying to get out, just follow me. I'll get you there. You can try and read my lyrics.
My name is Nima
And I'm Kalin.
Today we'll be discussing 2 very wonderful sportsmen for the very kind-hearted and for the family. Our first movie will be Pride, and our second movie will be Radio. These 2 movies are very wonderful and discuss and show the scenery of how racist time has been back in the 20th century.
Well, not only race, I mean, think about it. Radio was about ableism. So, moving on.
Yeah. 3 things we'll be discussing throughout our review about how you're going to critique the movie. The first one we'll be discussing will be the visual effects. Visual effects are very important, or effects in general. For example, soundtrack, camera angle, visuals, blurriness, whatever comes out in the movie, or how the movie is played out during the time given.
Oh, and next, we're going to do the development of the characters. The development of the characters is very important. Often, when we're talking about movies and comparing, we have to know which characters connect best to us, and that's also all in the acting, so I think it's a very important aspect.
So, Colin, you're saying character development, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. The third thing, and the final thing we'll be discussing, will be...
resolution of the plot. And resolution of the plot is very important, considering how the movie is wrapped up. First, Nima will start with the plot line of Radio.
Radio is about an autistic boy who's very lonely, and one day becomes friends with the school football coach called Coach Jones. In the story, he starts to meet new people who accept him for who he truly is, while the main plot line and climax deals with the fact of will the city or the people or even the community truly accept him for who he really is, or will he be left lonely just to rot?
That's right. And then meanwhile, in Pride, the storyline goes like this. It tells the story of Coach Jim Ellis, an African-American man who finds work in a sketchy community center and starts a swim team of troubled African-American teens who are denied their rights to play basketball.
That's right, Quinn.
Yeah, and then he has to compete with a bunch of other schools in order to raise the name of PDR, Pride, Determination, and Resilience. They have to deal with the racism too, keep that in mind. Let's talk about the visual effects. Nima will carry it on with the visual effects of Pride first.
Pride has wonderful imagery, scenery, picture, and sound. The images take place of people swimming into crystal clear images of blue water. The sound, on the other hand, takes clear, 100% perfect, clear sounds of people splashing their arms in the water as they dive into the pool. The scenery and imagery and sound in Pride is amazing, while camera angles, long shots, close shots are done with very precise camera angles and take on wonderful imagery in the movie.
I gotta admit, Pride's visual effects were pretty awesome. While there were Radio's visual effects, who, I have to admit, were older, but they were seemingly good enough. It often seemed the cinematography was awesome, so the focus of the camera on the main characters was definitely amazing. It focused out the characters that we should want to know and relate to, which is definitely something that's good for something made in 2003 compared to something
that was made in 2007. It's a big difference, 4-year difference. Visual effects weren't as good back then, but it makes sense. But in this category, Pride is the clear-cut winner.
Next, we have to talk about character development. It's a really important part of the movies, considering we have to know which character we can relate to best, and that ends up being a winner in, well, selecting the movie.
The first movie we'll be discussing will be Radio. Radio has wonderful character development, as everybody in the story, Coach Jones, Radio himself, and other members of the team, as well as family, develop throughout the story. Everybody's scene, everybody's moment in the film ties in. Everybody gets where you want them to get, right? Like,
Exactly.
it ties in perfectly. Like, what you want radio to become, what you want Coach Jones to become, everything works, you know? It's not one of those stupid movies where, those stupid sports movies where people just end off the movie just where it's great. Everything is perfect in this movie. It's amazing. The character development is 5 out of 5. It's wonderful.
Meanwhile, in Pride, to be honest, it wasn't as good. There were way too many characters to focus on, and I think that was a big problem in the movie. Like, they couldn't really fit in the entire swim team and Coach Jim Ellis together. Too many feelings and too many stories to put together, and just not enough time in the movie.
Well, it just wasn't working, that movie, you know? Like,
yeah.
The scenery wasn't perfect.
I'm just saying, if one of the swimmers got shot, and if Radio got shot, I would cry more for Radio, let's face it.
Yeah. Will be the resolution of the plot.
That's right, Nima. First, I'm going to start us off with Radio. Radio did a really good job with the resolution. It tied up a lot of loose ends at the end. Although I was kind of disappointed to not find out what happened to Frank Clay at the end, the main antagonist. But we did end up finding out that Radio ended up living happily ever after at Hannah High, and he still maintains his friendship with Coach Jones, which I think is absolutely amazing.
It's great, yeah, it's great.
Hi guys, it's me, Nima. I'm sorry Kalin couldn't be here with us today. He was a bit busy. I'm going to discuss the resolution of the plot of the film Pride. Pride is a good movie overall, but the climax or the resolution plot, whatever you want to call it, was a big downer to the film. The resolution of plot is basically what happens at the climax. Do they win or do they lose? When we figure out when the team wins or loses, it gets really tough to decide about what happens in the movie because it doesn't really give enough insight on the characters in the film, or it just shows Jim Ellis, the team coach, and what happens to him, but what happens to the team? What happens to this big local drug dealer guy that we see throughout the film? Like, it gives you the feeling that there's going to be some big duel at the end, but nothing really happens with him after the tiny fist fight in the pool. He just sort of disappears. Like, what happened to him? Did he go to the hospital or what? So I'd have to say the conclusion to Pride wasn't very good, and it kind of was a downer to the rest of the film. I confirm that this movie is worth a shot, but nothing much. I confirm that this movie is clearly solid. Dude, what are you doing?
Hello, my name is Nima's Rapiche.
And I'm Kalin Krumov.
Today we will be discussing 2 very wonderful sports movies for the kind-hearted. And what, you didn't start videotaping, did you?
No, I started videotaping.
Stop! Oh, make it like the... No, just cut it. No, Colin, we need to start. You're supposed to
First part, we have to talk about the visual effects. It's really important. And now, Nima will take it with the visual effects of Radio.
Pride.
No, I'm doing Pride visual effects.
I'm doing Pride visual effects.
Wait, so I'm doing Radio?
Yeah, you remember you said you're...
You say, whoa, woe is me.